Hi there, Kathy Jackson here, and I know it's been a minute since I've been on, and I wanted to make a short video for you, just talking about how when we don't speak up for ourselves, what that actually ends up doing to us. And I know I've had that experience most of my life, and of course I was trained as a child to not speak up because emotions were never really embraced or accepted or allowed in my family. It was more so, get over it and stop being so sensitive. And, as I got older, I was called selfish and, a lot of shaming. So when you have that going on, you learn that people don't really want to hear what you have to say. So you may try again and again to speak up for yourself, and then you get shut down and shut down and shut down, and then even punished for it. So your nervous system learns that it's better to stay quiet because, you don't have to deal with conflict. You don't have to deal with other people's projections or their retaliation, all of that good stuff. So little by little, you really begin to chip away at yourself. It's a gradual process, but the results are it costs you in your self-concept, who you think you are, what you're able to accomplish. It costs you in relationships where you feel like you don't have a voice, where everybody else's needs are more important than yours. It costs you financially, because if you can't speak for yourself, you're really not going to have a lot of financial abundance, because you really need to have a voice when with money. Anyways, so the cost is great. I know I suffered a lot from depression when I was younger, and it was an ongoing struggle for many years. So you lose touch with your self. You tend to be cut off from that connection to self, and you don't feel empowered, you don't feel confident, you can struggle with confusion, not being able to make decisions because you're constantly looking outside yourself for approval, for acceptance, for direction, So that pattern is really keeping you small. It's keeping you in a less than stance. You are not fully empowered. And that's one of the main reasons I wrote my book, to help others to recognize the patterning and to be able to start, reclaiming your voice and speaking up for yourself, even if it's not received well. And so I know for me, it was a fear of being rejected. I feared if I really spoke my true feelings on things, that I would be rejected. And of course, that's pretty much exactly what happened. I don't mean to laugh about it, but it's, like that's pretty much what happened. But so I had to come to that place where, is it more important for me to be connected and to be in this family and stay small, or is it more important to start speaking up and being my true self, finding out what that even is, when you're in amongst people who want to keep you in a box, that want to keep you in a certain role or a certain, whatever the narrative is that they want to keep you in a less than position so that they can, still manipulate you. So I had to come to that choice point of knowing that I needed to choose myself. And when I decided that I was no longer willing to sacrifice myself in order to be in the family, I started speaking up even more. I did all along, but I fully did it because I embraced my voice, because it was now no longer a fear of mine. The fear was gone. I decided that I wasn't going to be inhibited by this fear of being rejected. I chose myself. And so, there can be all kinds of repercussions from that. But it came down to the fact that either I choose them or I choose myself. And I chose myself, and I'm really happy that I did, because I feel way more empowered, way more confident in my power and in my purpose. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the cost of adapting to your surroundings in childhood. And that's a section in my book, and my book is Breaking Free, and it's on Amazon. Anyways, it says that over time, these survival strategies become your identity. So as an adult, codependency shows up as a difficulty identifying. You don't even know what your needs are. A fear of conflict or abandonment. Chronic people-pleasing, overgiving and overfunctioning in relationship, feeling responsible for other people's emotions, and feeling guilt if you prioritize yourself. You lose yourself in relationships. That's what happens in relationships, is you because you've learned that pattern of staying quiet or not being too much, or, your needs aren't important, you will lose yourself. You will lose yourself because you are really sabotaging yourself. You are, sacrificing. And also you develop more and more of a feeling of unworthiness in love, unless you are useful to others. That's the word, self-betrayal. So every time that you don't speak up for yourself and you let someone else take the lead or dominate or make the decisions, you betray yourself. You lose yourself. You lose touch with who you really are, what you desire. It's very costly. It's very costly. I've learned. Of course, I'm no longer doing that, but I'm here to assist others to find their voice again, to find the strength and the courage to speak up because it makes a huge difference. Sometimes just standing up for yourself in small ways can make a big difference in a relationship. It can actually turn a relationship around, a semi-healthy one or healthy one, whatever. Not a toxic one. A toxic one, it's not going to really work. You just need to leave. But if it's semi-healthy and, and they're reasonable, then, yes, you can turn things around by starting to say what you really feel, what you really think. And if they're really not willing to listen and hear you, then they're really not your person. I don't care who they are. They can be your family, your closest friend, your partner, your whoever. If they're not really willing to listen to you and to hear you, to acknowledge you, they're not your person. Time to cut it loose. Anyways, that's my 2 cents worth for today. I hope you all look at my book. It's really, really good because not only does it uncover the reasons why you developed these patterns, but it also gives you the tools and the means to start rewiring, reprogramming your mind so that you can start standing in your power and speaking up and getting your voice back and your power. So, I guess that's it for today. Hope you all are doing well. Feel free to leave a comment below. Please like and share and subscribe. And I'll leave my link to my book below, so feel free to take a look at that and get a copy for yourself and share with a friend. All right, you all have a great day. Take care. Bye.